the psychological mistake that prevents you from becoming rich, and how to break it.
Have you ever observed the relentless efforts you pour into your professional life, the meticulous planning, and the diligent execution of what are universally considered sensible financial practices, only to witness your monetary progress stall? Perhaps you scrupulously manage your expenses, allocate funds for future needs, and even attempt to decipher the intricate world of investment vehicles. Yet, for countless individuals, the attainment of genuine financial prosperity remains stubbornly elusive, shimmering like an unreachable beacon. Your diligence is undeniable, but your balance sheets tell a less inspiring tale. The unsettling truth is this: an unseen, deeply embedded flaw in your personal financial calculus, an internal wealth blueprint that subtly and yet profoundly undermines your ascent to riches, is likely at play. Prepare yourself, for we are about to expose the covert forces hindering your monetary advancement. This incisive examination will not merely skim the surface. It will delve directly into the uncomfortable realities shaping your entire association with capital. We will meticulously unpack the quiet sabotage at work, dissecting how inherent anxieties and a deep-seated belief in scarcity actively deter your financial breakthrough. Subsequently, we shall undertake a necessary exploration into the genesis of your monetary narratives, tracing the lineage of those often irrational convictions that profoundly influence your economic decisions. It is a journey into the formative experiences of your past, specifically engineered to emancipate your financial trajectory. However, rest assured, this endeavor extends far beyond mere diagnosis or introspection. Following our critical analysis, we will transition to actionable strategies offering precise, implementable methodologies to dismantle outdated financial patterns and cultivate habits conducive to wealth creation. Finally, we will elevate your perspective, encouraging a vision that transcends mere personal accumulation and instead focuses on crafting a legacy of enduring affluence for future generations. If you are truly prepared to shed the shackles of financial stagnation, then remain engaged, as a potent and perhaps slightly acerbic awakening for your financial future is imminent.
Unveiling the invisible barrier, your limiting financial blueprint.
Let us be brutally honest for a moment, shall we? You are grinding, you are hustling, you are probably doing all the right things, or at least what every well-meaning, perfectly coiffed financial influencer tells you are the right things. You budget, you save, sometimes you even try to understand what a Roth IRA actually is. Yet for far too many of us, true, unburdened wealth feels less like an attainable goal and more like a cruel mirage, shimmering just beyond reach. You are working hard, but the financial scale simply does not tip in your favor. Why? Because, dear viewer, you are likely operating with an invisible, deeply ingrained, limiting financial blueprint that is actively, yet silently sabotaging your journey to riches. No, this is not about blaming you. Mostly, it is about shining a glaring spotlight on the insidious, subconscious programming that dictates your every financial decision, often without your conscious awareness. Think of this blueprint as the hidden operating system running your entire money life. It is not written in neat code. It is etched into your psyche by childhood experiences, societal messages, accidental observations, and the well-intentioned but often utterly disastrous financial habits of those around you. We spend more time choosing a coffee order than understanding the foundational beliefs that determine whether we will ever truly achieve financial freedom. What an exquisite irony, would you not agree? This invisible barrier, this financial mindset you possess, is far more powerful than any stock market fluctuation or interest rate hike. It determines how you perceive money, how you react to opportunities, how you recover from setbacks, and crucially, how much wealth you subconsciously believe you are allowed to accumulate. If your blueprint contains hidden lines of code that scream money is scarce, rich people are greedy, I am not good with numbers, or I will always struggle financially, then guess what? Your reality will obediently conform. It is a self-fulfilling prophecy, meticulously crafted by your own brain, often against your deepest desires. The sheer audacity of our own minds to work against us is, quite frankly, a masterclass in psychological mischief. This is not some esoteric, new age fluff. This is money psychology at its most fundamental. Every time you find yourself inexplicably procrastinating on opening that investment account, every time you make a questionable impulse purchase that undermines your savings, Every time you dismiss a genuine opportunity for wealth creation with a dismissive "that is not for me," that is your limiting financial blueprint flexing its muscles. It is keeping you tethered to a comfort zone of predictable, if frustrating, financial outcomes. Why? Because the subconscious prefers the known, even if the known is a perpetually empty bank account. Change, even positive change, is viewed as a threat. So, your blueprint becomes your unwitting prison guard, ensuring you never stray too far from your pre-programmed financial destiny. Consider the pervasive nature of limiting beliefs around money. We are bombarded with them. From the subtle implication that wanting more money is somehow selfish, to the outright lie that you must choose between wealth and happiness. We internalize these narratives, and they become the unbreakable rules of our personal financial universe. You might consciously desire financial freedom, yet your subconscious blueprint is whispering, "Stay small, stay safe, stay broke." This internal conflict is exhausting, isn't it? It is why so many smart, capable individuals feel stuck in a relentless cycle of financial struggle. Despite their intelligence and hard work, they are fighting an invisible enemy within their own minds. This subconscious programming does not just manifest in grand gestures. It is in the micro decisions, the subtle hesitations, the silent anxieties that plague your relationship with money. It's the reason why, despite earning more, you often find yourself with similar levels of debt, or why a sudden windfall seems to mysteriously evaporate. Your blueprint has a set point for your wealth, and it will work diligently to maintain it, regardless of external circumstances. It is a truly spectacular, albeit infuriating, display of mental self-regulation. So, how do we begin to dismantle this invisible barrier? Start by acknowledging its existence. Stop making excuses and start asking the difficult questions. We recognize that the root of our financial blocks often lies not in external markets, but in internal maps. This is not about learning a new budgeting app. It is about learning a new way of thinking about yourself in relation to money. It is about identifying those ancient, outdated instructions running in the background and rewriting them with intent. If you are genuinely tired of feeling like a hamster on a financial wheel, churning endlessly but going nowhere, then it is time to confront this truth head-on. It is time to unveil your invisible barrier, expose its ridiculous rules, and prepare to shatter it. This journey is not for the faint of heart, but the reward, genuine, sustainable wealth, and the financial freedom you truly deserve is beyond measure. Are you ready to stop being a reluctant participant in your own financial mediocrity? Because the next steps involve a very necessary and perhaps slightly uncomfortable conversation with your deepest self. Stay tuned.
The Silent Sabotage: How Fear and Scarcity Keep Wealth Away.
All right, so you have just had a delightful, albeit slightly unsettling, chat with your own invisible financial blueprint. You've acknowledged the existence of that deeply embedded operating system dictating your monetary destiny. Now, it is time to peel back another layer of this rather inconvenient onion and confront the two uninvited guests who have been dining out on your potential for too long: fear and scarcity. Welcome, my aspiring plutocrats, to the Silent Sabotage: How Fear and Scarcity Keep Wealth Away. Let us be clear. This is not about some external boogeyman picking your pockets. This is about the remarkably efficient internal mechanisms that ensure you never quite reach the dizzying heights of financial abundance you secretly crave. It is a masterful act of self-sabotage, executed with such precision that you might even mistake it for prudence or realism. How utterly charming is it not? First, consider fear. Fear. That ever-present, clingy companion, particularly when it comes to the green stuff. It manifests in myriad forms. There is the obvious. Fear of losing money. This is the one that convinces you to keep your savings languishing in a low-interest account, bravely fighting a losing battle against inflation, rather than daring to invest. "Oh, the market is too risky," whispers the fear. "What if I lose it all?" And so, you avoid the very mechanism that could propel your wealth forward, all to protect the little you have from a hypothetical loss. A truly brilliant strategy for remaining comfortably mediocre, would you not agree? Then there is the more insidious fear of success. Yes, you heard that correctly. It's a fear of actually having significant wealth. This one is a real gem. It's the fear of judgment from friends and family, the fear of change, the fear of increased responsibility, or even the bizarre fear of becoming one of those rich people you secretly despise. Your subconscious, ever diligent, will ensure that as you approach the precipice of financial breakthrough, it erects elaborate mental roadblocks. You might inexplicably procrastinate on closing that lucrative deal. Or perhaps you will find compelling reasons to self-sabotage a promising wealth-building opportunity. It is an elegant internal dance, where your mind ensures you stay just within the boundaries of what feels safe, familiar, and crucially, not too wealthy. And let us not forget the profound, almost primal scarcity mindset. This is the belief that resources are limited, that there is simply not enough for everyone, and certainly not enough for you. It is the voice that screams, "I cannot afford that." Before you have even considered the actual cost or value, it is the constant worry about money, even when your bank balance is perfectly healthy. This mindset transforms every purchase into a perceived depletion, every investment into a gamble against a dwindling supply. It keeps you clinging to every single penny, making you hesitant to spend on experiences, education, or even on things that could actually generate more wealth. Why invest in a course that could boost your income when that money could be saved for the inevitable financial apocalypse, right? The scarcity mindset is a master of disguise. It parades as financial responsibility, as frugality, as being smart with money. But its true agenda is to keep your mental coffers perpetually empty, regardless of what is actually in your bank account. It convinces you that saying yes to an opportunity means saying no to survival. It promotes a zero-sum game mentality, where your gain must inherently be someone else's loss. Or worse, your gain will inevitably lead to your own downfall. This internal monologue actively shuts down avenues for income growth and investment opportunities, ensuring that you perpetually operate from a place of perceived lack. Think about the sheer number of missed opportunities due to this silent sabotage. The promotion you did not apply for because you feared you were not good enough. The business idea you shelved because who am I to be successful? The salary negotiation you fumbled because you feared asking for too much. Every single one of these instances is a direct consequence of your deeply ingrained fears and scarcity beliefs acting as your personal financial gatekeepers, ensuring you never truly step into your full earning potential. This is not a drill, people. This is a cold, hard look at why, despite your efforts, financial freedom remains elusive. It is not because the economy hates you or because you lack intelligence. It is because you are unwittingly participating in a brilliant, long-running charade orchestrated by your own internal anxieties. You are holding yourself back, often with the best of intentions, but with the most devastating of financial consequences. Recognizing this silent sabotage is the first crucial step toward disarming it. We must stop romanticizing our financial anxieties and start viewing them for what they truly are: outdated, self-defeating programming designed to keep us small. So, are you ready to stop letting fear and scarcity dictate your financial narrative? Are you prepared to challenge these internal saboteurs and reclaim your power over your own wealth destiny? Because understanding these patterns is merely the warm-up act. The real work, the actual breaking of these chains, begins when we dive into the very roots of where these stories came from.
Deconstructing the mindset, where your money story truly begins.
You have faced your invisible financial blueprint. You have confronted the insidious twins of fear and scarcity. Congratulations! You are bravely navigating the psychological minefield that most people studiously avoid. Now, prepare yourselves for the grand archaeological dig, because it is time to unearth the very foundations of your financial beliefs. We are about to embark on deconstructing the mindset, where your money story truly begins. Let us be honest. You did not just wake up one morning with a fully formed, wealth-sabotaging financial mindset. This intricate, often contradictory web of beliefs about money was meticulously crafted over decades. It is your personal money story, a narrative so deeply ingrained that you probably mistake it for universal truth. Every single one of us possesses this story, a peculiar blend of fact, fiction, observation, and unconscious absorption. It is the silent script dictating your financial performance, whether you aspire to be a leading actor or a perpetual background extra in the drama of wealth creation. And if you are not getting the financial results you desire, I assure you, the plot of your money story is probably quite dismal. So, where did this epic, often tragic narrative originate? The answer, much to the chagrin of our independent adult selves, often lies squarely in the playground of our childhood. Yes, we are talking about your parents, or guardians, or whoever happened to be modeling financial behavior when your impressionable young mind was busy downloading programs. Were money conversations a forbidden topic? Whispered in hushed tones behind closed doors, implying that wealth was something shameful or dangerous? Or was money the constant source of heated arguments, teaching you that it was a destructive force best avoided? Perhaps it was always not enough, fostering a perpetual sense of lack, regardless of actual income. The subtle signals we received as children were not just about currency. They were about worth, security, control, and self-esteem. Consider the classic parental adages. Money does not grow on trees. How many times did that one echo through your formative years, imprinting the belief that money is inherently difficult to acquire, a scarce resource to be hoarded and feared? Or perhaps it was saved for a rainy day, which, while seemingly prudent, can often morph into a paralyzing fear of spending even unnecessary investments, transforming prudence into pure miserliness. We absorb these childhood money lessons like sponges, often without critical filters, allowing them to become the unshakable bedrock of our current financial mindset. Your parents, bless their well-meaning hearts, probably taught you precisely what they themselves were taught, perpetuating a beautiful generational cycle of limiting beliefs that keeps everyone conveniently poorer. How delightfully efficient. But the blame game does not stop at the family dinner table. Society at large plays a rather significant role in sculpting your money story. The media, for example, paints a fascinatingly distorted picture of wealth. On one hand, it demonizes the greedy rich, while on the other, it glorifies extravagant spending and unattainable luxury, leaving the average person feeling perpetually inadequate. Our educational systems, meanwhile, excel at teaching complex calculus, but notoriously fail to impart practical financial education. We learn about Shakespeare, but not about compound interest, about cellular biology, but not about managing debt. Is it any wonder so many of us stumble blindly into adulthood with a profound ignorance about the very tool that governs so much of our lives? It is almost as if the system is designed to keep us financially dependent, isn't it? It's a truly remarkable oversight, or perhaps a cunning feature. And then there are the inevitable financial traumas. A job loss that led to severe hardship, a bad investment that wiped out savings, a period of crippling debt. These pivotal experiences, much like emotional wounds, can leave scars on your money story, cementing beliefs that money is dangerous. I am not capable of managing wealth, or I will always be poor. These events are not just memories. They become cautionary tales your subconscious endlessly recites, protecting you by preventing you from ever risking or gaining again. It is a misguided act of self-preservation that ultimately stifles financial growth. The critical point here is that these elements, childhood experiences, societal messages, and personal traumas, form your subconscious programming around money. It is not an active, rational choice you make every day. It is an automatic response, a default setting that runs your financial life on autopilot. You are often operating from a script written by a much younger, less informed version of yourself, or by people who themselves struggled immensely with money. This unexamined story is the invisible hand guiding your spending, saving, investing, and earning decisions, often directly contradicting your conscious aspirations for financial freedom. So how do you begin to rewrite this epic tale of financial woe? The first, most uncomfortable, and yet most liberating step is pure, unadulterated self-awareness. You must become the detective of your own money story. Where did these beliefs come from? Whose voice is that whispering you cannot afford it or money is evil? What did you learn about wealth from watching your parents struggle or thrive or pretend to thrive? What cultural narratives have you internalized about success and failure, generosity and greed? This deconstruction of mindset is not about wallowing in past grievances or blaming external forces. It is about understanding the genesis of your current financial reality. It is about peeling back the layers to identify the specific sentences, phrases, and emotional associations that form the backbone of your current money story. Only by seeing these origins, by understanding their often illogical or outdated nature, Can you begin to challenge their authority over your present and future? It is a painful process, perhaps, like pulling out old festering splinters, but absolutely essential for anyone serious about breaking free from the psychological chains that prevent true wealth creation. Do not just watch this, truly reflect. Your financial liberation depends upon it.
Implementing the wealth shift. Practical steps for financial freedom.
All right, you have peered into the abyss of your financial psyche. You have unmasked the invisible blueprint, stared down the twins of fear and scarcity, and even conducted a rather unflattering archaeological dig into the origins of your convoluted money story. You have done the hard, uncomfortable, introspective work. Bravo. Now, if you are still with me, it means you are genuinely tired of merely understanding your financial dysfunction. You are ready to transcend the intellectual exercise and actually do something about it. Welcome to Implementing the Wealth Shift, Practical Steps for Financial Freedom. Let us be excruciatingly clear. Awareness. While certainly a prerequisite for any meaningful change, is not, in itself, a golden ticket to riches. Knowing why you are broke does not magically make you unbroke. If it did, motivational speakers would all be billionaires, and therapists would have solved the world's financial woes. The time for navel-gazing at your past financial traumas is over. The time for action, however imperfect, has arrived. This is where the rubber meets the road, where your newfound psychological insights must translate into tangible, unapologetic steps toward financial freedom. First, let us talk about the subtle art of mindset reframing. Your old money story, with its dreary plot twists and predictable ending, needs a serious rewrite. This is not about positive affirmations whispered into a mirror like some desperate incantation. This is about conscious, deliberate, and sometimes confrontational, internal dialogue. When that familiar voice of scarcity whispers, "You cannot afford that," your new, empowered voice retorts, "How can I afford that?" When fear screams, "What if you lose it all?" you counter with, "What if you gain everything and more?" This is not blind optimism. It is the strategic redirection of your focus from lack to possibility. It is about actively challenging every single one of those long-held limiting beliefs you so painstakingly uncovered. Treat them like obnoxious relatives at a family gathering. Acknowledge their presence, but do not let them dominate the conversation. Next, we address the actual nuts and bolts. The practical steps that often get overlooked in the spiritual pursuit of abundance. It is time to get uncomfortably intimate with your numbers. Yes, budgeting. I know. The word itself conjures images of deprivation and spreadsheets. But think of it not as a straitjacket for your spending, but as a GPS for your wealth creation. You cannot steer a ship without a map, and you certainly cannot reach the shores of financial freedom if you have no clue where your money is actually going. This is not about cutting out every joy. It is about conscious allocation. It is about telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. And for goodness sake, if you have debt, formulate a battle plan. Do not just stare at it in despair. Acknowledge it, strategize, and systematically eliminate it. That is not just good financial hygiene. It is an act of self-liberation. Now, for the piece de resistance, investing. You can almost hear the collective groan. Too complicated, too risky. Not for me. And there it is again, your old blueprint trying to take the wheel. This is precisely where you override it. Begin, however small. The most powerful tool for wealth accumulation is compound interest, and its magic requires two things: time and consistency. Forget trying to get rich quick. That is for the naive and the eventually poorer. Focus on getting rich steadily. Educate yourself, even if it is just a basic understanding of index funds or diversified portfolios. The internet is a treasure trove of information. Stop using it solely for cat videos and celebrity gossip. Your financial literacy is now a superpower, and it is entirely within your grasp. Do not let complexity be another excuse for inaction. Moreover, cultivate an environment of financial abundance. This does not mean buying designer handbags you cannot afford. It means surrounding yourself with information, ideas, and even people who embody the money mindset you wish to cultivate. Listen to podcasts about wealth building, read books about successful investors, engage in conversations that elevate your financial thinking. rather than perpetuate the scarcity narrative. Your environment shapes your beliefs, and if you are constantly surrounded by negativity and financial victimhood, it will be incredibly difficult to enact your personal wealth shift. Actively seek out mentors or communities that inspire and educate rather than drain your financial aspirations. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, embrace the concept of radical responsibility. No one is coming to save your financial future. No government program, no sudden lottery win, no benevolent benefactor will hand you lasting prosperity. That burden, and indeed that incredible power, lies solely with you. The psychological mistake you've been making is allowing external circumstances or internal programming to dictate your financial destiny. The break comes from consciously, persistently, and with a healthy dose of self-awareness, choosing a different path. This implementing phase is not a one-time event. It is a continuous journey. There will be setbacks, moments of doubt, and the occasional relapse into old, comfortable, poverty-inducing patterns. The key is to recognize them, forgive yourself, and course correct. The wealth shift is not a sprint. It is a marathon of consistent action fueled by a powerful, rewritten money mindset. So stop talking about it, stop thinking about it, and for goodness sake, start doing something about it. Your future financially free self will thank you, perhaps even send a modest dividend your way.
Beyond limitations, building your legacy of lasting prosperity.
You have faced the music, examined your inner financial demons, and perhaps even started to kick some of those particularly annoying psychological habits to the curb. You have identified the blueprint, wrestled with fear and scarcity, deconstructed your dubious money story, and, crucially, you have begun to take concrete, if somewhat terrifying, action. Congratulations. You are no longer merely dreaming of financial freedom. You are actively forging it. But if you think accumulating a comfortable nest egg or achieving personal financial independence is the grand finale, then, my dear reader, you have profoundly underestimated the sheer audacity of true wealth creation. It is time to think beyond limitations, building your legacy of lasting prosperity. Let us dispense with the quaint notion that getting rich is simply about having enough money to buy all the things you always wanted. That, frankly, is a rather pedestrian aspiration, a mere pit stop on the highway to genuine, enduring affluence. True, you will probably acquire some delightful baubles and experiences along the way. Enjoy them. You have earned them, but the true power, the actual purpose of mastering your money mindset, lies far beyond personal consumption. If your vision of wealth still involves only bigger houses and faster cars, you are still operating with a somewhat limited blueprint, albeit a slightly shinier one. This is where the real shift occurs, when you transcend the me and start thinking about the we, or perhaps more accurately, the they, as in future generations. You are not just building personal wealth, you are constructing a financial legacy. You are not just breaking your own chains of scarcity mindset. You are laying the groundwork for a future where your family, your community, or even causes you deeply care about are no longer constrained by the same old, tired financial narratives. This is not philanthropy born of guilt. This is wealth with intentionality, purpose, and impact. So how does one embark on this rather ambitious endeavor of building generational wealth? It begins, ironically, by doubling down on those practical steps you've already started. Your investing strategy, for instance, must evolve beyond simple retirement planning. You are now thinking about assets that appreciate, generate passive income, and can be passed down. This could involve strategic real estate investments, establishing trust funds, or even investing in businesses that align with your values and offer long-term growth potential. The goal is no longer just enough for me, but more than enough for many. This requires a shift from short-term gains to long-term vision, from reactive saving to proactive wealth stewardship. Furthermore, a critical component of any lasting legacy is the transfer of knowledge, not just capital. You have spent years, perhaps decades, undoing your own detrimental money programming. What a colossal waste it would be to simply allow your children, nieces, nephews, or even your mentees to stumble through the same predictable pitfalls. This means becoming an active participant in their financial education. Teach them about compound interest before they turn 18. Show them the mechanics of investing, not as a mystical dark art, but as a systematic process. Impart the hard-won wisdom about distinguishing needs from wants, about the true cost of debt, and about the immense power of a positive money mindset. Break the cycle, explicitly and unapologetically. They may not thank you immediately, but their future financially secure selves most certainly will. Beyond your immediate circle, consider how your accumulating wealth can be leveraged for greater good. This is not about emptying your coffers. It is about strategic deployment. Perhaps you fund scholarships, invest in local startups, support nonprofits aligned with your values, or even create ventures that solve pressing societal problems while still generating profit. This financial impact is not an obligation. It is a profound opportunity to shape the world beyond your immediate sphere, a privilege earned by those who dared to break their own psychological barriers. It is a far more satisfying pursuit than simply trying to beat your neighbor's car payment. Of course, new fears will undoubtedly emerge once you have moved beyond limitations. The fear of losing what you have built for others, the responsibility of managing significant assets, the weight of expectations. But here's the magnificent truth. The psychological tools you have painstakingly developed, the ability to identify limiting beliefs, to confront fear, to reframe scarcity, are precisely what will equip you to navigate these new challenges. You have already proven your capacity for transformation. This is merely the next chapter, a more expansive, more impactful application of your newfound financial resilience. So, when you think about your ultimate financial goal, do not stop at comfortable. Do not even stop at rich. Dare to think impactful. Dare to think generational. Dare to think lasting prosperity. This is not about selfish accumulation. It is about purposeful creation. It is about proving to yourself and to the world that breaking free from those initial psychological shackles was not just about your personal gain, but about unlocking a potential for good that you never even knew existed. This is the true reward for confronting the uncomfortable truths about money, the chance to build something that outlives you, something truly meaningful. It is a far more interesting story. Would you not agree? Now, go build it.
Your financial destiny. The choice is now yours.
All right, you have journeyed through the labyrinthine depths of your own financial psychology. You have stared unblinkingly at the invisible blueprints, confronted the insidious twins of fear and scarcity, unearthed the ancient origins of your money story, and mapped out the practical, albeit uncomfortable, steps required for a genuine wealth shift. You have, effectively, been handed the ultimate cheat sheet to your own financial liberation. No longer can you plead ignorance. No longer can you blame external forces for the internal programming that has kept your bank account perpetually underwhelmed. The curtain has been pulled back, the secrets exposed, and the ball, my discerning viewer, is now unequivocally in your court. This knowledge, however profound, is utterly worthless if it remains merely intellectual fodder. It is a weapon for transformation, not a decorative artifact for your mental mantelpiece. So what will it be? Will you succumb to the comfortable inertia of your old money story, allowing those well-worn self-sabotaging patterns to continue dictating your financial reality? Or will you wield this newfound understanding with the precise, deliberate intention it demands? The journey to lasting prosperity is not a passive spectator sport. It requires courageous action, consistent effort, and the unwavering commitment to dismantle every single limiting belief that dares to stand between you and the financial freedom you genuinely deserve. This is your chance to rewrite your personal economic history, to build a legacy that extends far beyond limitations, and to finally claim the abundant future that has always been your birthright. The time for excuses has expired. Your financial destiny awaits your command. If this unvarnished truth has sparked even a flicker of defiant ambition within you, then prove it. Hit that like button because the algorithms need to know we are not afraid to talk about real wealth. Subscribe to this channel so you never miss another dose of uncomfortable yet transformative financial honesty. Share this video with anyone you know still trapped in their own self-imposed economic cage. And most importantly, leave a comment below. Share your insights, your struggles, your victories. Let us build a community that refuses to be held captive by psychological mistakes and instead actively architects a future of true, unburdened financial prosperity.